I actually had to physically put my password in. Google's like, "We haven't saved this."
Oh my goodness. Yeah, we were
Yeah,
talking about
Oh, so that
in
was
my
January 22nd. It was
yep.
damn. And the year's halfway over, I'd like to point out now.
he's about to be 5 months old in 8 days.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness.
So
You wanna know what? Hey, I'm gonna start dating the times like the stamps where I start notes and stuff.
hi Billy. Kylie, my favorite Pokemon is probably Moltres. Moltres or I don't know, it's probably Charizard close second, but definitely Moltres all time.
All right. I
Oh dear.
have that set up for our note
Really?
taking.
Ew. I love I love Charizard a lot, but I like Moltres. Whatever.
Toxic, you are so
I'm a
basic.
Squirtle fan,
As somebody who started I hate Lucario.
and it's a furry thing of why he hates him.
I actually like
Uh,
Lopunny more, but I promise it's not a furry reason.
He's just hiding his true favorite as
What's
Psyduck.
that? What was that?
Okay. Toxic
Unconfirmed. Might be,
Toxic
might
is just
not be.
hiding his true favorite as Psyduck.
Oh my god. Why? Because he hates everyone and always has a headache? I mean, that tracks with like
Yes.
my life. So
Exactly.
Sigh, underrated
I
He
Pokemon.
also
was
gets confused a lot
borderline
very easily.
fucking terrified for a minute because my D&D Beyond was not activating.
Oh.
Well,
Yeah, no.
good
Uh
thing I have this lovely pen and paper character sheet.
oh, be a shame if you wrote on pen on it.
I write in pencil, but I do know people that wrote in pen, and that gave me
Oh.
anxiety. Ugh, so permanent. What if like what do you do when your health goes down?
Don't fuck up.
I can do that through my medical history.
But can you also see every breath you take and every move you make?
I'll be watching you.
Oh jeez. We're finally back. I do want to ask him, how many more sessions do you think this will be? Two? Like this flashback, I want to say. Like flashback part. Okay.
Don't worry, guys. It's just the precursor to the Pokemon campaign, allegedly.
Don't worry, Em's been working on a whole new Pokedex for us. I figured not. Oh, I can't believe
I would
Em's just been going for so
I
long.
would happily be into that. So, well, let me get some.
I know we were talking about it, yeah. And our goal was at least get this one done before we jump into that big next one.
There we go.
Hey, I just want to point out we can't hear you on your stream. I'm reading your chat and I just checked. Yeah, we can't hear you on your stream at all. Yeah, we can't hear you through YouTube at all. Yeah. Oh, I just heard myself on stream.
Hello? Hello?
I hear you now on your stream.
You do?
Unless you said two hellos in a row.
I did say 2 hellos in a row.
Oh, never mind. Then I didn't. I don't know if I heard you. Let me mute you in Discord.
I don't know. I can see myself.
Yeah, I hear you on your stream now.
Okay, yeah, weird. I don't know why that's the way. Weird.
We can hear you on stream now, you are good.
Yeah, yeah. Huh. Strange. Okay. Yeah, they're all in the crystal. You convince them to let you bring the crystal with you. And so that as to not give it to this force, whatever it is, the ability to sort of store consciousness in this rock. And we took the rock, which is pretty big because I don't really know what to do with that. That's a cool thing. A few cycles ahead, we come to a really inhabited plane. They are very, like socially and politically advanced, not so technologically advanced, but like socially and politically, where they're like there isn't a lot of conflict, there isn't a lot of strife. There wasn't even a lot of crime until Yi stepped on the scene. And that's what Yi spent his year doing. Toxic spent his year just like learning about their processes that they were going to be putting Korik through. And that process was what was called Parlay. Teaching you a new spell, basically called Parlay. It's an hour-long cantrip or whatever that. What do you call those spells in D&D? Rituals. Yeah.
Rituals.
It's like an hour-long ritual spell in which you willingly give up your safety to be able to parlay with an entity of any kind. In this space you go to, they can kill you, but you can't harm them. And you used that to speak to Hadar, Yi's god, and both of you exchanged some info. You told her how you're staying alive through the light of through the light of creation, and she killed you because she doesn't like being spoken to, and kind of got revenge on you for you eating him as a shark during one of the things. It was mentioned and then re-brought back. It was like a very funny thing. But the way that she killed you was like similar to ways that you have killed him over the course of these 30x cycles.
He's lists 180 deaths.
Exactly. And then we're brought back into the next cycle. And in this following cycle, let's see, Yi has now been tasked from Hadar to figure out a way to get her the power of the light of creation. Now that she knows of it and she knows that it's a powerful artifact, she wants it for her own, and that is she has tasked you with that. And the rest of the crew, as we come into this next few cycles, is pretty pressing on Korik to use this ability he has gotten to speak to the hunger. Yeah. I'm not We will be floating in sort of ethereal space in between cycles as we are deciding what to do in the next one. But yeah, as we start to come back together, Lucretia and Loop and Davenport are all pretty insistent towards Korik that we need to speak to the hunger. We need to try to figure out whatever we can learn. We have this power now. We should use it. For that. How do you feel about that, Korik? I want to kind of judge my space before I figure out where I'm going to put this. Like, if we're going to dive into conversations, we can do that by, time by time, or we can interspace it with other years that I have on the docket.
All right, so just accidentally closed out of my notes. Give me a second.
Yeah, 100%. Also, if anyone has any questions, like anyone wants any other things answered to get us back into the play space, it's been almost 5 fucking months, so.
Yeah, I was reading through my notes, so this goes to questions, and I have, like, the last thing I literally have is what we talked about, fast forward 30 cycles. From when I was at the monastery, it looks like didn't save the whole parlay thing.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just give me a brief little overview again of the parlay?
Yeah, you brought Hadar
ability?
into... Oh, yeah, the parlay ability is that you can target a consciousness in existence. The consciousness has to be in existence. As I was listening back, we had a little back and forth about, like, could you bring future you in? No, because, like, you exist now. You couldn't bring someone from the future or the past or imaginary into this space. They have to be real, but you can bring their consciousness into this space along with yours. While in this space, like, they can't refuse that. So no matter what, they will show up, right? But
yes,
then
I
they
remember.
Can just
I used the ability and I tried to talk. I tried to talk through it last time. So
yeah, you did it with Hadar, and you guys shared a little bit. She was interested in how you guys keep not dying when you have been hurt so heavily or damaged repeatedly over the past 3 decades.
Yes.
And now she knows about the light and wants that.
Yes. So obviously I share the experience with my, with my teammates. They know what happened with that. And I guess right now I'm just I'm fine with if you want to just kind of like lead us into the next little setup. I don't really have anything.
I mean, my setup here before we dive into the next planet is that the 3 of them are pressuring you like instantly, right? You guys finish that cycle, and as you are spun back together by the light of creation in this, spaceship, they are already pressuring you. Like, we haven't gone down to the planet yet. They're just like, we should do this, and we should do it early. We need to, like, learn. We have no info, and this is our one way in. They seem to pressure you.
Okay. Who in particular? Is that Yi and Tim, or is that the NPCs?
That's the NPCs. That's Lucretia. That's Loop. That's Davenport.
Okay. All right.
I was like, I don't think we're pressuring you. Oh.
Yeah.
No. We're not.
What do you guys think of this situation? What does I don't know, anyone sort of think of this situation? We're looking for the light of creation. When we find it, we know the hunger cannot consume this plane of existence we find ourselves in.
I want to ask, does the light of creation then hence disappear from our ship after, like, we get re-wrangled if we die, or how does that work? Because do we just have them stocked, like, in the back of his ship? Like,
no.
Oh, here's another bobblehead from my collection.
No, it's just the one. It's just the one. It fell into your plane in the very beginning, and you guys were able to utilize some of your research to make this ship to bring you back to life over and over again. And then the hunger fell, and that's what has been repeated time and time again. Even when you get it and you exit back out into the plane space, You go through that shift and you end up in another plane. The light is not in your possession, and it falls like a week after you guys enter. And then the hunger comes about a year later, seemingly chasing the light.
I would like to do like a little mini football huddle of just me, Tim, and Yi. To get their two thoughts of what our next course of action should be, and keep the Lucretia and
Sure.
them out of it for a minute.
So,
Alrighty.
You've
Floor
all
is
been on the
yours.
same team for 30 years, though.
how's the floor mine? I don't like.
What,
You're
what,
the
what do
only
you
one that can
what do
talk
you
to
think
the
we should be
hunger.
doing right now?
I don't know, man. You're the only one that can talk to the hunger.
He's going to like.
What do
look at
you
it-
want me to say? What do you? I want to know what if you were in my position. What would Tim's plan be?
Try to do anything so that it'll stop destroying things. I don't know. You try to reason with it. Try to ask why it's eating.
Do you want me to invite it for fucking scones and coffee, or try to give it fucking Plan D? I mean, like, or cast fireball in a room. Give me. I mean, that's very broad. Anyways, you're gonna help. Yee, thoughts other than steal all of its shiny stuff and make a deal with the
Well-
devil.
To be fair, the devil made a deal with me. I didn't make a devil deal with them.
You didn't make a devil with the deal. Got it. The deal went down to Georgia.
The deal went down to Georgia. Some Georgia-based deals.
New hit song hitting in like
He was
2,500.
looking for a
78.
devil to steal or whatever.
And first I wanna. We're on like a ship, right? Like
Yeah, spaceship out in space, out in the
Yeah.
planar verse.
He wants to like peek out a window and see if they can see the hunger behind them. I guess first before he says anything.
I mean, no, it isn't directly chasing you. It is, you know that it's going to show up in about a year and just consume this plane. You guys know the signs of when it starts, when it's on the way. It gives like a little, I think like a month before it shows up, the sky goes black and you can see like eyes in the skies, and you know that it has found this place, and it takes then about a month for it to get to the plane,
Okay.
get to this place. And in the 30 years, you guys have tried many things. To no avail. Like the only answer to it not totally consuming a plane is having the light of creation with you when you leave. Otherwise, it doesn't leave a plane behind. It just consumes it. And then as
Who is-
you exit out into the planar space, you can't see it anymore, and then a year later it
Yeah.
shows up.
Who is currently holding the light of creation?
No one. You guys have just entered into a cycle, so we're still floating in space. We haven't checked out the plane yet.
Okay,
So
cool.
there's no light creation on board.
It
right
hasn't
now.
fell yet. Usually, you guys wait up here
Alright.
about a week, and then it'll
Okay.
fall down.
I just want to
onto
make
the
sure if I
plane.
say, "Hey, I want to go talk to the hunger in the plane,"
Mhm.
be like, "What the fuck?" I don't want him to be like, "Thank you," and pluck the light away from me.
Nope. Nope.
Oh, I remember now. Didn't I talk to Yee's God? That's who I talked to last time.
Yeah,
you
that's what
talked
he
to
was
Yee's God. That's what I was
talking
saying.
about last time.
You
Yeah,
talked to
yeah.
Yee's
Okay,
God?
I'm sorry. I'm still.
No, that's okay.
putting,
last time.
Oh, good.
I'm putting everything back together in my brain. It has
Yeah.
been a while.
She was
No, that's
very
totally
hot,
fair.
and she was very in control
Kicked
of
my
the
ass.
situation and felt very powerful. And she did say in as much words that like she is not afraid of the hunger. She's not worried. When it shows up at her doorstep, she will snuff it out like an ember. We know 70 years in the future that's simply not true, but that's how she fully feels in that moment. And then she
Well,
snuffs
at
you
least
out.
he knows that.
Oh God,
Yeah,
I
that's
could be a
true.
total asshole.
That's true.
So Yi will go.
I want to parlay with the hunger right now.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, but first I need a Yee. Can you roll a 20-sided die for me? I have 10 or below or 11 or higher will answer how I do this.
20.
Yeah. Okay.
You got a 17.
Okay.
All right, cool. I am going to tell the hunger that Yee's God thinks that
Well,
it is a
hold on.
punk ass bitch.
Damn it. Let's cycle in. You can. I imagine you're telling your friends that, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna try to, because I still think that Yi's god is going to possibly be our best help, and I'm gonna be like, yo, Yi, you might want to talk to her. She said that she could do this. I'm gonna go talk to the hunger and be like, yo, I got someone that can beat your ass and try to speed up the process so we can end the hunger, because I still I believe that, you know, Yi's deity could do this.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
So
As much as
Yi,
as much as I like pissing off gods, I'd like not to die from a god.
says the man that has already died how many times?
Well, now, I mean, it's probably 1-for-1 at this point. He only survives like
Yeah.
3 of them. It's hard to say which 3, you know?
Yeah.
So
I think he's
1-for-1
died
at
the
this
most
point
out of
is
all of us.
wild.
I
Yeah.
had 93 deaths.
Yeah, of 100, which is just cuckoo.
Yes.
You know,
Okay.
whether it's, you know, you getting bit by a shark or a god smiting us and the world ending, what other options do we have? Lucretia, your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, she was urging you on before. She says, I don't, I would love to know what is driving the hunger, and any notes I can get on that would be perfect for the logs. And she taps the books that she's been writing in.
When I go into this parlay, it is just like a mind-on-mind conversation. Correct? Like, I pull their consciousness in. Like, I can't go in. I know I can't physically harm someone, but could I bring a notebook to record things, or, you know, an object to show someone?
Could
Like,
he
let's say
drop
I
one
wanted to
of us
do,
in
like,
with
let's say I
it?
wanted to use someone's consciousness to remind them of, like, if they lost their way, and show them an old picture of their family to try to, like, regain a spark or a core memory or something.
I think that's
Is that
really
something that I can
interesting.
bring in?
I think yeah, it's a mind space created by you and whoever's in it. So for sure, you can. I think anything. It's tough. I mean,
Or it would just be
So-
like the illusion of something that I
right.
can show.
I think if you conceptually, if you had a notebook when you went in, you would have the notebook with you. But whatever you wrote in your notebook in that mind space would not then be in the notebook unless it were magical. You know what I mean? Would not be
Okay.
physically in the notebook on your physical person space.
And mine and Yee's connected, like, fanny pack thing. He can't
We
hand
don't
me
have
stuff
that
while I'm
here.
We lost that. Okay, we don't have that yet. Never mind.
This is
Sidebar.
that's true.
If we did have that, would that be able to be used through consciousness?
That would be worth a try. We're talking. That would be.
Okay,
That would
that
be
is a
worth
complete
try.
sidebar.
Definitely.
So, okay,
I'm very
so
interested by that. When he said he
Lucretia
didn't have
wants
it, I was
more
like, okay.
notes. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
recall,
I'm trying to.
Lucretia right now is just the scribe of our journey. She's like the journalist. She's writing notes. She's just the documentarian of what's going on. She's going to write a book about this when you guys finally return home one day. That was the goal.
so
in the-
she's the historian.
Yeah, she's the historian.
All right. Awesome. So yeah. Yo, Hunger, what up, yo?
Okay. So Korik goes to his personal chamber to meditate on this spell and try to draw the hunger in, while everyone paces the ship, waiting for the light of creation to fall during the cycle. What is this space? I don't remember what we said, so let's just make it up whole cloth again. What is this? When you bring someone in, what does your parlay space look like? Is it like a clearing? Is it like a fancy dining room table?
Depends on what I am doing. I try to cater it as much as I can to who I am with. Once again, as if I was going to try to bring back someone's childhood memories, and let's say it was my
making them
childhood best
comfortable.
friend. Yes, I would probably do his or her living room. Or if I was going up, if I was going to be bringing in a someone that might have, you know, lost someone in battle or died in like a coliseum, it's going to be in the middle of the coliseum where they felt the most vulnerable, so I can have an advantage.
So what do you bring for the hunger?
For the hunger, it's just an empty white space,
Empty.
and then
white
behind
space.
me, in the distance, is just a little glowing light that is just a little bit brighter than the rest. Since the hunger kind of brings in his darkness, I want them to come in and see the brightness, but also not be put off by the how much darkness and shadow they cast. Because I want the light behind me to still be brighter than whatever darkness they can bring in.
Yeah,
And so I cast a shadow on them.
yeah, it's very interesting. I think
If that's
that
possible. That's my goal.
I mean, in this pure white space, I like the idea of you utilizing the blinking shadow or the blinking light to cast a shadow, because there isn't really, like, your shadow doesn't fall anywhere, right? So you wouldn't see it on the ground in front of you, because that's also pure white. So, like, it wouldn't reflect downwards, but I think that there's still some play in the, like, you standing in front of the light versus not in front of the light at points. I like that as an intimidation factor. When you show up into this space, you show up alone and you look around for a little bit, and then you hear the sound of, like, 2 footsteps on, like, a stone floor in an echoey chamber, you know, and you turn around and you see the hunger where you want them, right between you and the light, but you turn around to see them. And in front of you is a older man in his 60s with some very clean cut gray hair on his head, and a very clean shaven beard, tightly pressed suit with a black tie and a what do you call those things, like a little handkerchief that hang out of your pocket. I can't remember what they're, pocket square, black pocket, or a white pocket square to balance out the black. Very
we got
fine
Michael Jackson.
wing-tipped shoes, you know, since you said Michael Jackson. I love it.
That all came
Does
to
he
my mind. I like Michael Jackson.
When he takes over a planet, he just puts on one single glove.
Yeah, it's just this man in front of you. He looks around with a sense of confusion about his face, and he looks at you, and he tries to open his mouth, and you hear a little bit of a raspy kind of croak comes out, and he clears his throat, and he looks a little pressed for a second, and then he looks down, and there is, on a little white marble podium, a jug of water and a cup, all of a sudden presented in front of him, that he fills up and drinks, clears his throat. Okay.
Okay, so he has some sort of ability in my consciousness to do stuff.
Yeah,
That's
so this
pretty scary.
I mean, he has as much control as you do in terms of, like, what can go on in the space, because he can kill you, like, right? He has full
Yeah.
yeah, I guess. Yeah. I'll just leave it at that. He says, okay. Oh, okay. Wow.
So I like to almost visualize this in my mind, like almost as like the mirror realm where I can summon someone there from like Doctor Strange, but I can't attack them in it. If that's where my mindset
Yeah,
goes
I mean,
on this little
if
side realm.
whatever gives you the comfortability
Yeah.
of not being able to attack them, I'm cool with.
Yeah. Yeah. The way you said how he just made that appear gave me like
yeah. I like the mirror
Doctor
realm.
Strange
I
type
love
vibes.
that. Doctor
Yeah.
Strange is a movie that I struggle finishing.
Multiverse. There
but
we go.
Fucking
Yeah.
love the visuals so much.
Yeah. So I would first I would just like to I guess I'm just gonna RP this out. I tell him welcome and
well,
thank you.
Where are we? Who are you?
My name is Korik, and I brought you here in a realm of consciousness to try to get a better understanding of you.
So
My
he spins
team
around
and
really
I-
quick, and he says, "So you're not really here? Where are you?"
that doesn't matter right now, because you're not really here either.
Okay. Your team and you. He cocks his head to the side.
We have been tasked with trying to get a fundamental understanding of your existence. and understand what and why you are in this universe.
Every time the light blinks behind you, he seems to like jolt his head around, as if he's like expecting, I don't know, some sort of trap, right? In this moment. He says, I'm certain you would. But soon, you will be a part of me too. We will become one. And I will not need to worry. And he sighs. He says, I do not know how you brought me here, but we don't really need to worry about this again, huh? And he waves his hand, and you just, like, disseminate into pixels. And that's your cycle that time.
Fuck.
He's got to test out our boundaries first, right?
Yeah. All right. I'm
gonna
getting
Boiis-
major Doctor Strange vibes here because I'm going to be fighting Dormammu, and I just want to keep going back and back and back until fucking something happens.
I think the only thing I want to space in between these conversations is like, now I want to give you guys a chance to converse about what has occurred before we go back in case there's a point in which it stops. I have a cycle down the line that will start like hitting again, because as we've done like 4 of 30, right? So we're going one by one in this moment to give you guys a chance to like bounce back and forth before we send Korik back in, I imagine, because there wasn't much gained there.
So obviously I remember everything after each cycle.
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I will wake up, out of my chambers, come out, and explain to them what I stated and the hunger, how he presented himself, what was going on, and he was super confused that I had the ability and the power to summon him, even if it wasn't in a pure physical stance, to an area. And it almost seemed like he was bothered by that. And when he was trying to from my understanding, when he was trying to wrap his head around it, he just kind of just waved his hand, and then I woke up. So
out of character, I'm getting his microglove wiped his white glove in front of your face, and Moon walked out of there as you died.
Yeah, it does sound kind of like he just pushed you out. Davenport seems perplexed by this. I know it sucks, but I think you should try again. I don't know. It doesn't. We have to try to talk to this guy. And if there is
Didn't we go to the planet, though?
that's already more.
Too?
Can you pull one of us in with you?
He cannot, and we'll say that like even the last cycle, right? You guys were able to recover the light of creation that time. You got away. No different that cycle than any other cycle. The hunger didn't, change its course or its pathing, but you guys got the light of creation that round. I don't want this to be like, because Korik does this, like no matter what happens to Korik, we can call your guys' cycles normal.
how does time pass for them while I'm in the other realm? Is it like the training center in DBZ where like 1 day equals 10 years?
I mean, it's probably a 1-for-1 passing. Like, you probably died within 20-30 minutes of going in that last year.
All right. I was just trying to wrap my head around, because it's like if I went in to talk to them, they went down to get the light, came back, we met up. They were gone 5 hours. I was in there for a week. Just didn't know. Okay.
No, I don't feel. I like a 1-for-1.
Perfect. Okay. Davenport. So and just continuing the conversation as, because we're into the next cycle and whatnot. And, I had asked them, the best I could about Lucretia's question to try to help get her notes to be understanding. But, what do you think I should ask?
We just.
What do you want to know?
I mean,
How to kill it?
How to kill it would be great if it wants to tell you that, but where it comes from, who it is, it's just anything that we could use as a starting place to try to figure something out. Maybe if it's from a particular plane, we could figure out some way to cancel it with magic, or I don't know. We've been flying by the seat of our pants for so long with no information. We finally, even a face like that feels bigger
Well,
than
first of all,
almost
why are your
anything we've
pants
done
flying
in
the ship?
30 years. Well, all of me flies the ship.
Then
I'm
it's not the
pilot.
fleet of your pants flying the ship. It's you flying the ship.
They help too.
Um, if it did tell us it was from a particular plane of existence, Davenport, how could that help us destroy it?
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm kind of just spitting in directions. I feel like any information. See, I don't know how it helps, but I feel like even seeing a face so far has given us more. We now know more. We have something to tie to it than we did before, which is not much, but
Okay.
We haven't gotten anything out here. I just feel we only have everything to gain in there. Unfortunately,
All right,
you may die, but we'll get you out next cycle.
Absolutely, yeah. I would like to go back in.
Is the space still this white space with the blinking light?
Yes,
just
it
wanna make
is.
sure.
Yeah. Are you going to prepare him water in advance this time so he doesn't summon his own? Maybe that's why he was rude.
Okay, it'll be white, except there will be like a dining room table almost, like a smaller one that you would have in like a small apartment, but still
One
nice.
chair on either side.
And just one chair.
Oh.
On his side.
Oh, okay. Sit if you want.
With a single pitcher, one goblet of water, and or an empty goblet, maybe a couple lemons, just sitting there, like, maybe some cucumbers if they would like to add them.
Yeah.
As well. Just try to be like overly over the top.
As you go to stack the last lemon, you drop it on the ground, and when you pick it up, he's already sitting in the chair. Like, that's when he's entered into the space. You place it on the tower.
Yeah. Exactly. And
he says,
so
oh, you're back. Huh.
Do you remember me?
Yeah. Not too many people are. I don't know the last time I spoke to someone, so you're going to be a hard face to forget.
Well, I hope you could take a seat and our conversation might be able to last a little longer this time.
Sure. He pulls out the chair and he sits and he says, I would hope that you would join me. And you look down to the side of your side of the table, and there's a chair there pulled out for you.
So when I was already standing this, I was probably about 15 feet away from the table.
Ah, sure. You saw it just kind of pop into existence then.
Yeah. Just like it was like, where the fuck that glass of water come from last time? So, I slowly walk over, and as I'm walking over, I'm kind of doing like a false I'm too like I know what the hell I'm doing walk type thing. A very con man-esque type walk, like confidence, but how the fuck am I gonna pull this shit off? In my head, and I ask him, so last time, before you kindly asked me to leave, we were having a discussion about you, but is there anything you would like to know about me?
Why, yes. Yes, there is. Very curious. Very curious. First, I'd like you to give me a heart roll. I'll give you +1 because all of this has been very good, and you offered him the first question.
Yeah. D10.
It'll be 2d6 plus your heart stat.
2d6. Okay.
Which, do you guys still have your
Your
heart,
heart-
mind, and body stat?
I
I
do.
still have all that
Yeah.
written
Okay,
down.
good.
Yeah,
I do. Yeah, mine's going to be a heart, so it's a +1. So I'm rolling 2d6.
Yeah, plus an additional +1.
So that'll
you'll
be a
+2.
12.
Okay. He says, I'm
Nice.
just curious about how you came back to life. Not many creatures come back after I take care of them.
It is one of the small, well, I guess not so small perks of bringing you to, fuck, how do I want to word this to him?
I don't know.
I'm
we
just
can't
gonna say,
help you.
yeah, I know. No, I'm talking to myself.
I'm not there.
It's
not
one of
there.
the perks for me of bringing you here is we can discuss, but I physically, since I am not here, I physically cannot die in this realm.
Gonna ask for a roll of some kind that is gonna
Determine if I get zapped right fucking
your
away.
total lie here. Yeah, I like the heart roll is a different determination that's gonna come next after his, question.
Yeah. All right. So will this be a mind or another heart?
I'll leave that
Or
up
just a
to
straight
you.
up-
I think you can go in either direction in here, whichever one works out better for you.
I mean, I'm trying. Yeah, I'm gonna go with mind because I'm trying to outsmart this dude.
Yeah, you've been playing in that
Ooh.
space.
That is an 8 with my +2. That is not
Ooh.
the best.
He looks at you. And he squints for a second. And then he smiles and says, if we want this to be an equal exchange of information, you're going to have to be upfront with me. And he swirls the goblet all of a sudden in his hand. And he says, I saw the pain on your face before you became nothing last year.
Oh, trust me, it hurt a lot. I felt all of the pain. It felt like 100 deaths at once. But physically, I am not here. Neither are you.
Okay. Your turn. What would you like to know?
I would like to know your name. I introduced myself as Korik last time.
You did.
I did not get your name.
Korik. I haven't had a need for a name in I can't tell you how long, Korik. I think I did. I used to go by John in my time. A public speaker I was. Could talk to the masses. And boy, did they come. I preached understanding of equality, of everyone working together to improve themselves. And then one day, that light fell into my hands, and I could finally see it all. And he trails off into silence as he stares into his goblet. If I got too quiet too at any point, let me know. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, John, if it's okay that I call you John,
Please.
what is your next question for me?
I can't spend too much time here. I'm a very busy man. We must find the light. What do you call me? I'm John, but
It
you seem to
was
have been dealing with me
okay.
for quite some time. What do you call us?
Many us. There's more than one of you?
We'll get to that.
The group that recruited me to assist them in better understanding you and what you're doing refers to you as the Hunger. Another name has been the Darkness.
You see him shiver when you say hunger. I like that. I like that. We are many. When the light of creation fell and I saw the truth behind our existence, that our toils and our strife mattered not in the grand scheme of things, it felt so unfair that it nearly broke me. And I hatched a plan. Together with those of my plane, we used the light of creation to become more, to subvert those laws that held us down without us knowing. It wasn't quite large enough, but soon it will be, and I and we will live freely. And
Before you go,
he stops.
sorry, you physically didn't
No,
move, so
he
I thought
was.
your camera like
I
froze.
felt it. He stopped
Yeah,
from
yeah.
what you thought he was about
Yeah,
to do
yeah,
for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I was waiting for the backhand this time. John, that is very deep, and I can actually, I kind of, I kind of understand a bit. There's so many things that at times hold you back without realizing it, and you wish that there's more you could do, and you found a way to do more. What happens when you are free?
We'll find out, but we'll find out free from the chains that bind us. You call us hunger, but I think a better name for us would be dissatisfaction for the wrongs that have been thrust upon us. Korik, this has been a good conversation. And
I would like to thank him for his time, and I would like to end the consciousness this time on my terms.
Forward to
and,
more. Oh no!
And end the parlay before he can kill me.
Damn, savage. Absolutely.
I'll roll for it if you
brutal.
want me to. Like, if I
No,
have to do
that's
like a mind
funny.
roll
I
or
love it.
something.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's 10 of 10. You've been killed enough times already in Parlay to know when someone's about to kill you in Parlay, and you could just
Happened
say,
twice.
"No, no, no, close. We're done. We're done. We're done. I see it coming."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so
Yeah. My
funny.
goblet of water disappears and poof, I'm gone. Like,
That's awesome.
yeah. So I wake up. I'm actually active when I woke up. I am visually like sweaty this time. Almost like I was having like a fever dream. Because I
What
guess it was like,
happened?
and yeah.
Didn't comment, so.
And I just start going into details, and I imagine Lucretia just fucking staring at me, just scribbling as fast as she fucking can.
Both hands writing in floating books.
Yeah, yeah. And I was like, and I just kind of struggle when I get to the part of the story where he drops "we," and I explained to him that, long ago he was referred to as John, the light of creation, and I almost can't physically get out the part that there's more than one. That it is. I try to explain to the group. I don't know if it's one being that has absorbed all other creatures from his plane, like Kirby. Just like
Sucking 'em up.
suck them all. Yeah, yeah, just like sucks them all in, or if it's referring to the planets and the universes he's taken over, or physically it was like a group of 12 people and there's 12 more of these guys or 11 more of these guys and they're all going around sucking up planes and universes all together at the same time, and we only know of John.
Yeah, I think a lot of the crew is kind of panicked over that fact too.
I think we are kind of dissatisfied with the information we found out.
We too are dissatisfied. They all chant.
Yeah.
He's just in the background, like, hey, what you gonna do? It's a god.
We too are dissatisfied.
Points for tying it together.
I've been imagining the most interesting man in the world. You know that guy?
Yeah.
The gray-haired guy?
Yeah. Next time, he's going to get a Dos Equis instead of a glass of water.
Honestly, I just thought you were
Squiggy's
preparing
gluten
if you.
intolerant. How dare you?
To be fair, I expected him to Corey to offer
Vodka.
him either a spa bath or lemons in case he gets a paper cut.
Or you could also envision him as Thor, like, just smash it down. Give me another, since we were already going, Doctor Strange routes. Yeah, so I want to kind of, just get with the team and collect our thoughts together. So we know that it is either a being with multiple of him, believes that he is a higher power of more than just himself, has actively used the light of creation in the past and has a very good understanding of it. Dude's named John.
He or they seem to. I mean, they seem to be upfront. Have you felt that they're lying at any point? Have you felt that they're like hiding things from you? This sounds.
I feel like he feels he has no need to lie. That he believes he is the superior creature or being, and I also feel as though he has a very small fear of me, of the curiousness of how I can bring him into this realm and pull him away from what he's doing. He mentioned that he was pressed for time, he couldn't stay here forever, and I ended our conversation without him smiting me this time. So the next time I bring him in for a conversation, if I bring him in for a conversation, I don't know how well that'll go at the beginning, but I would love to try again. Tim, what are your thoughts?
I mean, we have to keep trying, but I think we also at some point are gonna need to spend some time on this planet in case the cycle doesn't work out. Because we can't waste time and then die if we don't end up getting the light of creation again. Those are my thoughts.
When you
And
guys,
you're the only
when
one
you
that can
guys
do
don't
it.
get the light of creation, you still escape. Especially with full control of your ship, right? You can still escape. You haven't gotten it every time. The plane is consumed for sure, but
The rule we figured out is as long as somebody survives on the ship, it restarts and we are safe.
yeah, you
get
guys
revived.
can survive. You can't bring life forms with you so far, but you've brought the crystal with you, inanimate objects. I mean, I agree. I just want to make sure that you're we're fully aware that you're still safe if the light of creation isn't saved in that specific year.
Hey, John, have you tried talking to John?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
What do you think I've been doing? Ballroom dancing with the guy in there?
No, not bad John. Good John. Or John 1.0, and then there's John 2.0. How would you describe it?
Who the fuck's good
Evil
John?
John, nice John. You start just going between the different Johns, trying to figure out how to say it.
You all right, sidebar, you actually completely lost me. There's more than one John.
No, he's like trying to figure out how to name the
I
light
guess
of
maybe
creation.
he's been going off the us.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
No, like how you told us he used to
Okay.
be the light of creation. He's going.
I didn't.
Have you
I never
tried-
said he
They used
used to be the light of creation. I said they used the light of creation.
Oh, I thought you said he used to be.
No, they
Okay.
used the light of creation.
That's on me then.
Maybe to become what they are.
Yes.
You should try talking to the ball of light. That might help.
Why don't you talk to the ball of light?
Well, I could. I wish I could, but I don't have Mr. Voodoo Magic. All I got is a tentacle.
And keep it in your pants. So, I mean,
Well, you should be telling Tim that.
where's the ball of light?
That's my allure of this character.
I mean, after a week in this, week or so in this plane, it drops down into the plane, and you guys have a good angle on it. We can say that let's get, for this same cycle that you've just come out of this conversation, let's get
Yeah.
let's get a roll from the other two to collect this light as it falls.
What kind of roll?
Either mind or body. Mind from one of you,
Okay.
body from the other. I think I know
I
which
will
way that
take
goes.
body.
Yeah.
I'll do mind.
What are we rolling M for it?
12?
2d6.
So it's 2d6 for this section of the game.
It's 2d6 and then plus the stat, right?
Yeah.
2d6 plus mine.
That is a 9 for body.
Oh, I rolled a 12.
Yeah, I think that you guys have you guys are able to collect the light of creation this go round with a few months to spare if you want to do something with it. The particulars of the plane aren't necessarily important this time.
Could I spend alone time with the light of the light? And try to like attune to it somehow? Channeling my planar abilities of parlay?
Yeah. I'll give all of you an action with the light, since we have it. Like, everyone is going around kind of studying it. So while he's doing his parlay with the light, or we're going through this, you two consider what you would like to do with the light in this run, because that's important. We should all get to check out the light.
I want to say this. Ye will go last with the light after everybody else.
Okay.
What are we? What exactly are we doing with the light, though? Are we?
Whatever you want.
You could
It's
try
the
to. I mean,
light
well,
of
you don't have your umbrella,
creation.
but if you had your umbrella, you could try to absorb it. I don't know.
We have
Try
like
to eat
I
it.
would. My umbrella isn't my umbrella Loop, who's here with us. I don't have my umbrella because it's still a person right now.
yeah, it hasn't become the umbrella yet.
It
That's
hasn't
Yeah.
become the umbrella yet.
I know, but I'm saying, like, if we were back in regular time, like, that's something you could try to do. But Loop, come here, eat this light.
Eat this fucking light of creation right now.
Maybe that's how it becomes the umbrella.
I want to know what it does.
I just imagine Tim going over Loop, forcing open their mouth and
It's
just
so
stuffing
salty.
it down.
Oh.
okay. Give me another heart roll with your attempts to parlay with this light.
Wait, so Buddha's parlaying with the light?
He's trying to, yeah.
Yeah, for his action, he's gonna try to parlay with the light.
I really hope it takes you into the same white room that you parlay in instead, and it's just like
It just goes fuck you and walks away.
12.
Okay,
That'd be
I
very
will-
interesting.
I will let you in with a 12. So
Can I just tell you my end goal with this?
you can. I don't know that it will happen, but you can.
I'm gonna DM it to you.
Okay. Well, no, just tell me your end goal, because I have a thing that I think is
Okay.
also going to happen, and we can just get through it real quick.
I just want to see if it gives me any abilities to where maybe I could try to pimp slap the hunger.
Oh. Oh.
Maybe not actually pimp slap the hunger, but give me something else that I can do in my realm to maybe give me a little bit more of an advantage. Whether it's maybe fuck.
I don't know that it's that, but as with most of the way that we as with most of what we get from this like parlay ability, it's information. There isn't like a consciousness to connect to, and you can feel that like it's almost like a 404 error on a computer, like it's just lagging out as you're trying to get it in here. And I think in your training, this is already more significant than you just trying it on a stick or you just trying it on a sword or whatever. They probably practiced with you to show you that it isn't that, but it's the consciousness, it's the soul that you're bringing in. So there's something happening here with the ability. And for a second in you're like glitching in and out of this like black void, the white room that you brought what's his name in John into black void of nothingness, white room. You're just trying to get a hold of it for a second so you could set it up for the light. And in a brief moment of that like glitch into the white room where you're like separating in place and moving back and forth, you see and get a sense of all of the colors around you, just like in a circle around you. But you get a sense of each of their presences. That this is sort of the makeup of all magic that you find yourself in at the moment. Like each of these colors representing a different school and a different like pathway of magic, some of which are totally like foreign and alien to you still, but like if we, about half that circle is the D&D schools of magic, right? Like probably goes on way deeper, but like
I recognize
get
there's
that
something there,
sense,
but I'm
right,
just
in
it's
that
foreign
moment,
to
and
me.
some of them are foreign, right? And then you are shifted back out and you're in the room and you're like breathing heavy and you're very hot for a second and you're like just trying to, like you've just wickedly, ran 4 miles in a couple minutes. Exhausted, but you got a brief moment that it's just this build up of all of this, of every kind of power, all kind of mashed into one point. And that's why you're able to utilize it for like, this is a very powerful thing, your ship, that you are able to die and be reconstructed. We still don't understand it, and that's okay. This was a small sliver of it we used for this. But that's very powerful magic. Creation consuming a
I
plane,
share this
similar.
information only with Tim right now. Since he is our magic wielder and has, from what I've seen, some of the most understanding of magic.
Okay.
And
So-
as like I came out of my room or whatever, I pretty much walked past Yi to go to Tim.
It's also a really good handoff for Tim to do something for with the light for study this year if he wants to.
Yes. So just a little bit of a sorry, my music too loud. Just a little bit of a refresher. What happened, Buddha?
So as I tell him, I was like, I tried to parlay with the light. Still, when I learned this ability, I've not really been able to connect with non-living objects. I try, but the light, I couldn't fully connect with it. But when I couldn't connect, I didn't come back here. I was kind of stuck in between, and I wish you could have seen what I saw. I saw everything at the same time while seeing nothing.
Everything,
But
everywhere, all at once. Everything, everywhere, all at once.
God damn it.
So loop is also a magic user, right? Like I don't know that we ever delved into that, but I assume
Yeah, she
'Cause
specializes in
she's-
destruction magic.
because she's trapped in a umbrella in the real world, the real timeline, and not the past. So I would probably venture to guess that my action would be to spend at least some of the loop because he is going to need some time too. But to spend some time during this loop studying the light of creation with loop to try to see if we can figure out how it works, what type of magic it is. Is there any way that we can harness it? Why we can parlay with the hunger, but we can't parlay with it? Any of those questions that we might have, like I think that's probably where I would like spend my time.
I love
or a
it.
part of it, my time with the light of creation, because he has to have some time with it too. But
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to
Give
spend
me
my
give me a
time with it.
mind roll for your time with Loop. I mean, I'll give you +1 from your bond with Loop for sure. You definitely have a hardcore bond with Loop, and if you two are studying together, this works out well. Angus is
11?
Loop's. You said 11?
Wait, so am I getting an additional +1, or
Yeah.
am I getting my plus? Okay, so yeah, I rolled an 8, and my mind is +2, and then I get
+1 from the bond
+1,
with
so
Loop,
11.
which is great. An 11. Okay. In his time with Loop, what you guys come to your conclusion that you come to, especially with Korik's input with the addition of knowing that it sort of contains all of, like, a sliver of all power kind of mashed into one object, giving it this everything power. You guys come to the conclusion that the force and the, like, energy that it emits is visible to you guys in this moment, and it is as it falls into the plane. It's so catching, but it's more than just that. You realize that there is this like underlying draw to the light, this sort of bait and lure situation in which it has this almost this like you crave it when you're in it. You crave to use it, just to use it, not to use it for bad, not to use it to destroy or to do, but just to use it. It has so much you can do. You can build cities and existences out of it. It just wants to be used because it has so much to be used for. But this almost signal it's emitting, you get that, you finally like get that idea, is that it's like this force, this draw to it is almost like a signal that it's emitting, and that might be what the hunger's following. If we can, I think the two of you come to the conclusion that if we can split it up, if we can break it down in some way and make like two or a few of pieces of it, that the like draw, the signal might be reduced.
Like 6 separate stones.
Yeah, if we could sort of
The
smash it up,
artifacts.
yeah, into a
like
gauntlet,
6 infinity stones
like 6
into a
infinity
gauntlet.
stones, or what could we call them? Seven
Horcruxes.
7 relics.
relics.
I went Harry Potter and said Horcrux.
Yeah,
Okay,
we could go our
so-
own season though.
So, all right, I will then go back to Korik and kind of share this before we gotta like go into Yee's portion. But like I feel like thematically Yee is not gonna care about any of this. So I feel like Korik and I would be the only two that are gonna care about that part of it. So
You know, shared amongst
I
the
will
crew.
go. He's not gonna care. I just know he's not gonna care. He's gonna be like, "How can I use this to steal from people?"
I was gonna say he's gonna sell it or something.
Yeah.
Oh, he has plans. Don't worry. Just depends
So-
if they work out.
So I'll go.
I will
to-
also like to say I will not just be playing like chess against Tim when Yi has his turn with this light.
Yeah.
Well,
So I go to Korik and I'll tell him kind of like what Loop and I figured out during our time, and like, hey, we think the reason why the hunger keeps coming is because it is chasing the signal from this. So I don't know if there's a way we can split it into smaller pieces and maybe that will stop the hunger from coming, but that might be one way to do it, to like allow us to have the power to still survive and fight the hunger, but also maybe it's not going to know where we are every time. We weren't able to get any more, but we can always spend more time studying it, you know, in subsequent cycles or whatever, right? In subsequent years, we can continue to study it, but this is kind of like our first pass at like studying it from a magic standpoint, I guess, would be kind of like what Tim would tell him.
Yee, how would you like to spend your year with the light, or your time with the
So this
light
would be
anyway?
fun. So, Yee's room, he like lets nobody in his room on the ship. It's like his room only kind of thing. It's where he hides all the shady shit he does from the crew when nobody's looking. And there's like the duct tape police lines, like in a giant like angsty teenager keep out sign,
That's funny.
just like.
I would like to turn
off the
into a
roster.
fly and enter his room and just kind of be up at the. Oh shit! No, he might eat me. Never mind.
I was going to say, Yee's room is as protected as possible. He wants to make sure nothing. If he could have, he probably would have soundproofed it, but I'm
What
not sure
do
if
you do
soundproof works.
with the light in this nasty den?
It's not nasty. He keeps his room clean. He's just making sure it's
Sure.
secretive. Hey, robbers have morals, okay?
Do
But
they?
Yee will then kind of
Huh.
look around, make sure nobody's around him, and then he's going to open up like a little closet area that he has, and it's just a little like shrine to the goddess he has. and he's gonna
Oh,
put the
yeah.
orb there and offer it to her.
Oh man. Oh boy. Okay. Yup. Give me a heart roll.
Okay.
Give me a heart roll.
Okay. No, not 40/40p. Roll 2d6. Plus 11.
You place the light of creation on your shrine and do a little prayer. And you sit with it for a little while. I think that it probably flashes in some sort of way to denote when it's being used, and it definitely does flash here. Just a little bit, and then it just retains its like light structure. But after it flashes, you feel very warm and cozy. That's really all that happens.
Interesting. Well, time for ye second plane. Eat it.
What?
Ye second plane, if it didn't leave, is just eat it.
He comes out of his room with a broken, like a cracked beak. It's like a
Not
little
shocked.
band-aid over the beak as he tried to bite into it, and it's like a jawbreaker. Just broke his, cracked his beak.
So we obviously noticed that, right?
Actually, no. He does that. Your beak cracks, and then
Mhm.
that warmness surges to your beak, and you see, like, looking in a little mirror in your room, you see, like, two little black tendrils split out from your skin on either side and pull the crack together.
Oh.
Oh, so there's no crack? I was gonna laugh at him. Now I
No,
can't
there's
laugh
no
at him.
crack.
He's not hurt.
It has been, it is healed up. Your connection with your goddess has definitely improved.
His goddess crest cure wounds.
It cured this wound, at least.
Okay. Well, those would take a year, but let's see. Ye's the rest of the time he's gonna do with it is try to figure out if there's a way to break it open. He knows eating it won't work, but he, out of thought process, he's like, everything breaks. I've broken stuff that's been claimed unbreakable. I guarantee you, I've
Oh,
broken
I mean,
into banks and everything.
I like the focus of breaking it. I think your prayer cycle with the thing does take the remainder of the time. Like it takes you a while.
Okay.
Like it
Yeah.
takes you a little bit of prayer with it for it to, I guess, trigger its stuff. It's going to definitely improve your connection with that. We're gonna have to figure out what that means for the end game. But at a minimum, that's a big thing. I think that everyone for this past couple moments is going to get a XP. Toxic, yours can either be a bond or an XP. And Yi, I don't know.
I need a little review of like what the difference was between bond and XP or
The three rewards are assets, bond, and XP. Assets can be spent in this cycle scenario. Like we're going through all these cycles. You can spend assets to bump up rolls. So if you get a middle roll, which is a 7 to 9, you can spend an asset to bump it up to an 11 to 12, or a failure to a middle ground. But you have to spend the asset to do so. At the end, you will be able to spend assets on improvements. There's been basically after the amusement park area with the Twins of Pain or whatever, like you guys didn't really get a full level up chance because that
yeah.
was being tacked on with what's happening here. So excuse me, XP will go to you leveling up in that moment, and that may be different based on what you guys have done in your arc. Some of you may level up on extra time, whereas some of you may not because of the XP you gain here. Whereas some of you will have more assets, and you can immediately spend those on just items that will say that you gained during that 100-year scenario, right? That were just on the ship. This cool magic sword is just on the ship, but you have spent at the end. I have a chart of how you can spend those assets on making a cool weapon for yourself or a cool item for yourself.
Okay.
Now, so far, you haven't issued any assets as far as my counts are up at.
I do have an asset. I got a rocket launcher from one of our things.
I have an asset.
Okay,
something
I
called
just don't
school
think.
books.
I think that your stuff has been bond and XP, Korik. Your XP might be higher
Yeah.
than others.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I get a boost of bonder and XP.
Yeah, one or the other. And I don't know. I want you to put like a little asterisk somewhere on your sheet that's like a special thing. It's not an asset, but I want to remind myself later that you did this interaction with Hadar. So like put a little star
Special
somewhere on your
god.
sheet and just write, like
Encounter. I'll put special god encounter. Would that work for you?
I think I'm gonna take.
Yeah,
I'm
I
gonna
mean, I
take,
might
the
even write gave
experience.
light of creation to Hadar. Just to
Okay.
fully remind that way later I'm like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, right. Because that's kind of big, I feel.
Of creation. How do you
I'm
spell
gonna
her name?
take an experience on this one.
Hadar.
Okay,
don't
I wanted to
exact-
make sure I spelled her name right.
I don't exactly remember what bond is going to be spent on, but I think it's going to be, it's going to be something big and helpful too.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna probably alternate between like bond and XP, depending on the situation. Like
Bond with your umbrella. It's deeper.
listen.
Well, it's with
I
his
feel
partner.
like for my character that might actually be important.
Oh, I was being serious.
You should be bonding with her. She's your partner.
Like as
Well,
you
he's gonna be
realize, like
an
you slowly end
umbrella.
up realizing that the umbrella
Very
is
soon,
loop. You're
she's
like,
gonna be
what?
an umbrella that fucking eats magic users. So I don't know when that happens, but at some
We have an
point
arc
he's
to save loop and get her out of the
gonna
umbrella.
get turned into an umbrella that I somehow am using.
I just want the umbrella to yell at Tim to watch his cold hands one day.
My hands are never cold.
They're always the perfect temperature for supple touching.
Yeah.
That's the name of this episode. Would absolutely be the perfect temperature for supple touching.
We'll have
Okay.
like a greatest hits episode. It'll be that and the scone roleplay, and then him trying to dick down the dwarf.
Scone
That
roleplay.
scone
is top
roleplay
tier.
might be one of the best D&D bits I've ever
It's one of
done.
those things where you can't explain to anyone about that moment in your D&D game because it's like when you tell someone about a dream, like no one fucking cares because they couldn't possibly keep up with what's going on in your dream. It barely makes sense to you. If we tried to explain scone roleplay to someone that couldn't go back and watch the video, it just would be like, okay.
Why do I need to know
And he
this?
ate a scone for 45
scones
minutes?
For 45 minutes? Yeah, but it was really fucking funny, dude. But you were
So fun fact, I actually, one of my old employees, when we were actively doing this every single week up until like right about Christmas time, I was telling him the next day about our sessions, and I just had to skip over the whole scone thing. I was like, this is going to be fucking stupid.
There's
Like,
nothing for it if you weren't
yeah.
there.
Yeah. But it was still probably my favorite episode.
Oh yeah,
But you
for
don't,
sure.
guys, you don't understand. The town was burning. One of the guys were running for their lives.
And
We were eating scones, having some nice tea.
Yeah, I think I even rolled for that, and I
You
just
did?
kept
You did.
rolling.
Yeah,
kept
yeah, you didn't give a
rolling, but, like,
shit.
You rolled
I was like,
multiple
I'm just
times
gonna
to
keep
just
eating my
eat
scone.
scones while you was.
Yeah, you were like, this is the greatest scone in the world, and
Yeah.
we're just fucking
I
going
have
at
no
it,
idea,
and
like, I don't know, like I don't even know where I am right now. This is really good.
yeah.
So we get through that cycle. You escape with the light. The hunger batters the plane.
Do I
but
get a bond or XP at all?
You got an XP for that, and ye got an XP, and then I wanted him to keep something to the side.
I did put that off to the side.
I guess-
You're good there, man.
And then I took
Yeah,
an
yours is an XP because that's an experience for sure for you. And I wanted his to be either experience or if he wanted to increase his bond with, Loop or whatever.
Yeah, I'll get to increasing the bond with Loop.
For
I
sure,
think we
yeah,
have
no doubt.
several more
No doubt.
cycles. I feel like I have time to do that. I gotta
70-something
judiciously.
years or so.
Yeah. What's 70 years in dwarf years? I'm only 35. I got a long ways, man.
That's true. That's true.
Got a long ways to go.
You're gonna be like half age, middle age when you come out of this.
Yeah.
Okay. We enter into the next thing. Do you have are you going back in? Do you have more things to talk to John about?
Yes. However, this time I would like for how can I do this? I would like to set up more than just a table, almost like a facade. Facade's the wrong word.
So
Almost like a '90s sitcom-esque type, like I don't know, sitting area with a nice.
bar from Cheers. Just kidding.
No,
it's
that's
always
too
sunny in
homey. I
Philadelphia.
won't do that for the 6th date.
By the way, Toxic, for your information, a 70-year-old dwarf is roughly equivalent to a 25-year-old human.
Oh yeah, I have hundreds of years left. Like 100 years for me is.
So I want to have a wide array of food, drink, a more comfortable chair, maybe a nice wingback chair.
Ooh, I like
His
that.
I want to be a little bit nicer than mine. Maybe his is leather, mine is I don't know, not leather. So
You have the cushion, he has full leather.
just to still kind of make him feel a little bit more comfortable. And this time when I summon him in, the light that used to be behind me, kind of faux casting a shadow, is now the chandelier that is above us.
Nice. Twinkling.
Yes, twinkling, and it's like one of those chandeliers that has the bright light in the center and then the smaller lights around the outside above the crystals.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of like shines more. The room itself we're in is naturally darker, but has an aura and is glowing about it because of the closeness of what I almost want to like replicate would be the glowing of the light of creation.
Cute.
And I would like to be already seating down when I bring John in.
Yeah.
And when he then comes in, I will stand, do like old school style show respect and, without words, just kind of gesture
I think it's straightforward.
the chair to him.
You blink and he's just in the chair across from you after you are, ready to let him in. And it's.
He's done this rodeo once or twice before. He knows the deal.
Oh, I know. I still just. And.
Oh, it's good to see you again. Korik. Yes.
You as well, Mr. John.
Back to talk again. Maybe a game while we converse. And he waves his hand, and I like chess. Little chess pieces come up on the board in little squares.
You should switch it to checkers.
I'm not here, but I think it's so ironic that he was like, I'm not gonna be fucking playing chess the next cycle while Elite's doing his time. And now he's gonna be made to play chess.
I
know.
And John moves first. And I would like you to make me a heart roll. I didn't actually think about that when I said that. I was like, I like chess feels right in this moment, but that's funny. Maybe that's why.
You see, that's
12.
Nice. Okay.
Okay, Magnus Carlsen.
He goes first, and then he motions for you to go, and he says, "What can I help you with today?" I like questions for questions.
Queen pawn goes 2 spaces up.
Wait, you know how to play
Um,
chess? I'm just gonna say he moves a piece. He's gonna win, you know that, but you can know how to play chess better than me, but just like narratively.
I don't know.
Okay,
All right, I
cool.
was in
I
chess
was
club
like,
in high
this
school.
man
I
just
know.
did not fucking tell me. He's like, queen to
I
g5. I'm like, no,
you
John
sunk my
takes go.
battleship, right? Yeah,
John
go
changes
fish.
the game of chess to a game of go, and then he plays first also.
Yeah, yeah. All of a sudden it
I
becomes a
just-
game of trouble. What the shit?
Yeah, right.
No, I just imagine y'all are just not even asking questions. You switch to something you know how to play. He switches to something he does.
No. As soon
keep
as we
going.
hit the timer button, it
Yeah.
changes to what game like the other person wants.
So,
So like he wants
Corey
chess,
just
he hits the button, and for
Yeah.
me it turns into fucking like
I actually-
Texas
Poker,
Hold'em.
you
or some
get
shit.
I
poker
actually
or
really
something,
love
yeah.
it if he goes first and then motions for you, and you with a timer, like a timer shows up, and you quickly move the correct first piece and slap the timer. No conversation. He's like, "Oh fuck, move, slap," and you're like, "Move, slap, move, slap." It's just an intense game of chess now. No conversation for this parlay.
Corey comes out of his parlay. So what'd you ask? Oh fuck.
Shit. I said
Well,
hello,
I
John, and then we
lost.
played 45 minutes of chess. Oh, that was intense chess.
What?
Yeah. I'm so hungry. I'm grabbing like the chicken leg in the corner and just you know.
I'm going back in round 2.
Yeah. Like let's.
But instead, chess, it's Texas Hold'em. Corey got to choose
Yeah.
the game. That
For the
time.
next cycle, it's just Korik growing facial hair as he's in the parlay, just like playing John in games. Okay, no, but back to
Yeah.
this one.
All right.
He goes
Yeah.
and
So.
motions.
No, yeah. You know, like I move the piece or whatever, and I just kind of stare him down for a minute, and I'm just like, you know, and then I ask my question, and I say, John, when we last spoke, we talked about the hardships that you, all of you, had endured, and why you you s- you were seeking the light of creation to help to become free. But where did you come from?
Moves.
I want to understand better.
My plane was the first of many. The progenitor. We began it all to bring together all of existence, to subvert the chains of whatever is out there, whatever is binding us, to subvert them, and we are becoming big enough.
Why are you bound?
My turn. And he moves and slaps, and then you go and you slap and move, slaps. He says,
Yeah. I'm so
I
sorry.
felt you really close by. You guys have been the last few times I've chased the light, we've not got our hands on it. Is that your fault? And he goes and he slaps. Actually, he takes a pawn and he slaps. I like that.
Yeah. I pick up a chess piece, and I kind of like how you would do like poker chips, how you can like twirl it between your fingers. I do something of that sorts with it, and I'm not looking at him at all. I'm just staring at this chess piece, kind of twirling it in my fingers, and I put it back one space forward, and I said, I told you I had a team, and I told you that we had a team, and that while not we were contracted, but we were recruited to try to understand what was making the light of creation disappear from so many areas and places. And that is what I'm trying to do now, is to understand why millions and millions of souls are being destroyed in one search for freedom.
Whoa. Destroyed. I think you have a very basic understanding of what is happening. Basic doesn't even begin to cover it. No two things can exist in the same place at the same time. He picks up two chess pieces, knocks them into each other, and he says, but by the light's very proximity, we can begin to subvert the laws and physics that have been placed on the environment around us. And he, like, merges the two chess pieces into one, and it, like, juts out a bit for a second and then forms into just, like, a lightly larger chess piece there in front of him.
I would like to think he takes two of his own pawns and forms a second queen.
Yeah, I love it. I love that. Yeah. And he says that neither are destroyed, but they have become the piece of something greater. And that is all I wish, to raise the basic pawns of this world up into queens. Yeah. That's a good answer.
That was pretty nice.
He says, how have you been getting to all these places? He says as he holds this, like, second queen in his hand.
I look over the board and I can't move until he did he take two like pieces off the active board or two pawns that were in like the graveyard?
Two pawns in the graveyard.
Okay, awesome. Because I was gonna be like, well, I can't move until you fucking put the piece back down, dude. But so I'm looking over board and I was like, shit, like, all right, how are we doing this? And I make a move to take one of his larger pieces, and I in the process of like with one hand removing his piece while placing mine down. Let's say like my bishop took a rook or something, and I haven't completed the move yet, and I was like, that's a longer story that is hard for me to completely understand. As you just said, my understanding of our situation is basic, and I'm trying to understand more. And I think if you can help me understand more of your situation, I can be able to then explain more of my situation.
I'm simply asking in what manner you traverse these planes that I'm consuming.
We have used the light to guide us and help us.
And
It can create
the times in which you haven't?
the times at which we haven't what? Like succeeded, or
The times in which I have consumed the light. This is not the first time I have. The first time I spoke to you is not even the first time I have crossed
okay.
your thumbprint
Yeah.
in existence.
Um,
And yet you're not a part of our mass.
as two things cannot exist separately together in the same space, as I am here, I am also elsewhere. And through the power of the light, how can I word this? my team and I can continue even after you do consume the light. We can move on due to using the light's powers previously.
He moves a piece.
Nope, it was still my.
Oh,
I didn't end my turn yet,
sure. Oh, right.
and I put my bishop down after I say that, and I say check. So it's not checkmate. It's not the end of the game, but
And he. Yeah, he examines the board. He nods.
I just imagine him doing that old like trick. Look over there and quickly turns the board
Turns the
around
board
when you're
around.
not looking.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Spins it. I love it. Instead, he's going to say, your relentless pursuit of truth and of the desire to understand is something that I can fully appreciate. But it blinds you to the restrictions that have been thrust upon you unfairly. And when you are able to see the full truth of existence beauty in front of you, can you grasp what it is we are after? When you get your hands on the light, just part its curtain and look for yourself. You will see what I speak of. You have been excessively, what's the word I'm trying to think of? Cryptic about where you are, but know that I am feeling you closer and closer with each passing year. Some of it's due to all this time we spend together, but I'm starting to find you. And if you're going to get in the way of me breaking the shackles that bind everyone in the plane, then I will snuff your light out entirely. And he just sort of dissipates into a smoke, and you look down and you are in a checkmated position. I don't know nothing about chess except that.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, that's perfect.
I only know the
that
basest
sounds-
amount.
Yeah. I kind of look around. I look at the chessboard, and I take my little king piece, and as I hold it, I put it into my fist, and then I let myself out of the parlay.
Nice. Nice. I think to dive into a cycle, you try a few more times throughout to connect, but it seems as if he has been able to put up a block of some kind to stop that. And it just kind of goes static after a while. Like, you probably create the room, he just doesn't show up because now he gets the invitation. Yeah, what's up?
I wanted to say that I wanted to talk to the team about it, that I believe my presence could be endangering us after the line he said.
Please do. Please
And I
do.
wanted to tell Tim, Coric, Loop, Lucretia that he mentioned that he can sense us, especially me, with the time that we felt, and I feel that I now do have an understanding of what he wants to do. He's basically pissed off at the universe and the physics of the world. Like, damn, I can't fly. How am I going to do this? Let's eliminate gravity or something, you know? And so basically he wants to be the god amongst gods, have no one that he wants to be creator himself, is what I'm kind of viewing this as. And that I don't want to parlay with him anymore at this point in time. But as we continue these cycles, we might be when we started this 30, however many years ago, we were 3,000 steps ahead of him, but now we're only 112 steps ahead of him now, trying to collect these things. He's coming up on our heels quick. And I talked to Tim more about on the next cycle where we can get the light, that I need to spend some time with the light, but I want him in Loop there with me as I try to pull back the curtain and see myself as John said. But I also want to try to see if they can explore more of separating it into multiple pieces to maybe like break up the beacon of it.
Okay.
And in order to do so, we must collect the light of creation in a future cycle, and that cycle is this cycle, hopefully.
Hey.
Now we have a real one to get into, with conversations with John taken care of, Tuesdays with John or whatever, and now it's cycle 47, and we have the info we have. As we come in on the plane, we see a scarcely populated place. With a bit of flying around in that first week, you see the light of creation crash down and land in a small, lush continent inhabited by several large kingdoms all around a massive, massive mountain. And you follow it to the Legato Kingdom as you land. That's, you find the info that it's the Legato Kingdom. And as upon landing, you're greeted by Chancellor Marlowe, who explains basically straightforward, like you were visitors, the policies and like kind of visitor politics of the kingdom. Most of it's boring, but some important bits that come out is that this is a warless society in which the communities around this mountain all sort of compete through art forms, through sculpture or music or anything, any sort of art form that I can't come up with in this moment. That's the rest of them, but those are the two that I'm gonna say off the top of my head. That is how they compete. There's no real military, they just do this. They all study and learn and then compete at to see who can do the best in their art form. And at this point, you guys are much more straightforward about reaching the light of creation because you've done this time and time and time again. And when confronted about it, she seems rather surprised that you know about it. She says, "You know the light of creation?"
Yes, we know the light. And I am not trying to be rude, but we need the light of creation.
Oh, well, don't we all? I guess now would be a good time to be able to see it at a minimum. Follow me. And she guides you through the conservatory. Just a beautiful, beautiful stack of dormitories and studios and libraries and any place that art could be studied or consumed or created is in this big spherical dome that she passes you through and leads you to a campus on the other side, jutting right up against the mountain, a massive hole yawning into it. And in front of this massive hole, on a little plinth, stands a grand piano, and there is a nervous young man just ripping away on this piano. Some of the most beautiful music you've heard in your life. You're drawn into it almost immediately. Next to him is like one of an instructor that's like flipping the pages for him so he can just keep tearing ass up on this piano. The crowd around is silent as they watch. And as he finishes, there's a roar of applause, and everyone is like cheering and really just like standing ovation style. Marlowe next to you is like, come on, it was good enough, it was good enough. And suddenly, from the yawning portal in the cave, a massive flash of light and a dull roar that sounds like hundreds of instruments all sort of playing at the same time. The music, sheet music, disappears from the pedestal, and the not I mean, I guess not only physically disappears from the pedestal, but for a moment everyone is silent as they can't remember the song they just heard. And then the gentleman in front of this yawning, this big portal into the mountain, seems distraught, and the instructor next to him puts a hand on his shoulder, seemingly in comfort. And there's a brief moment of silence, and Marlowe seems a little distraught, and she starts to say, "Well, I guess that," and you hear a flash, or you hear a booming song just erupt from the mountain. The song you just heard played on the piano, drawn back into your brain in a flash of light, and the crowd goes absolutely apeshit yet again. And she says, "That'll teach those Forte fucks," and she's like cheering and jeering. And she collects herself. She says, "Okay, the light of creation. Any questions?"
Where's the closest bathroom?
She points back to the conservatory.
He's gonna dip and go towards that way.
Sure. I just like that entrance of like, any questions? But over the next few days, she at least gives you, the rundown. In that is sort of the case, is that people are working their hardest to get their work accepted by the light of creation so that it can be blasted out into all of the plane. By the end, that it didn't just get returned to you, but like everyone in the plane actually was introduced to this incredible piece of music that you heard, that it consumed.
Is this the first time we're seeing the light of creation actually absorb something by itself?
Yeah, you've not seen it do this.
All right, then I would like to ask Chancellor Marlowe, what else have you witnessed the light do? It takes in the song?
It consumes all works of great measure and disseminates them to the wider masses as a whole. Creates knowledge and joy and freedom of expression.
Okay. Tim, what do you think?
I mean, I would still need time to study it again, right? Like, I need to see it if this iteration is the same or if it's different or if it behaves differently, because we haven't really, I don't think we've ever really studied it cycle over cycle. We've gotten it and we've escaped, right? But this is like, as far as I can remember, this is only the first or second cycle that I have I've actually studied it.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, you guys have given it enough of. You guys have given it a few breakdowns, but this is the deepest you've gotten. Is that last cycle for sure?
I'm assuming that there's too much going around, and I would not be able to get my own time on it to try to parlay with it.
Oh, to get your own what would I call them? You get your own, I guess, ceremony for the light. Yeah, if you study at our conservatory, we can absolutely get you an appointment to present your works to be consumed by the light of creation.
I look at Tim and I just give him like a little head nod, and I was like, Chancellor, I would love to study at the conservatory.
Yeah,
Do I have
this
to get in
is a
touch with
great
Loop
time.
somehow? Is Loop with us?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of the crew seems pretty interested in like Davenport's like, well, if it's that easy, if we could just, put in some time and some study and get some time with the light of creation, might as well just learn a craft. Like I'd take some singing lessons.
He walks away yelling, "Nerds!"
I envision Davenport like as like a whittler. Like he would just take like a stick and just like
I like
carve
Davenport
a
as a
small.
whittler too. I love that.
I
Yeah,
was thinking,
yeah.
even Davenport's meek. I feel like he'd be a hard rock guy. Just
He
pulls
plays
out the
the
electric
bass guitar,
guitar.
like the metal.
Yeah, yeah.
He whittled his own neck of the guitar.
He's the
Yeah.
screamer in the band.
Yeah.
Disrespect.
Like he's so he's when he talks he is not articulate at all, but when he sings it's like just epic.
Mm-hmm. It's operatic.
He has like the really good acoustic.
Yeah, so I would like to try to train. I'm always down for knowledge, and see what else I can learn, and if there's anybody up there that is maybe focusing on any type of magical spells that could help me, particularly I
pick a craft.
have
If
a-
anyone wants to study, you should pick a craft. They're not going to teach you how to like cast destruction magic, right? But this is art. This is arts. This is crafts. This is a great time for anything from your character sheet. If you have like a skill or like I don't know,
like herbal medicine.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, why not?
Because that is one of my proficiencies.
Why
so
not?
I mean, I could.
I was going to say, let Yi teach them the art of sleight of hand. He's going to teach them something and not learn.
Beverage crafting. I mean, if you want your own ceremony, or if you want a chance at having your work accepted by the light, you'll have to do a thing. You can teach all you want, but you'll have to.
Oh yeah, Yi doesn't. He knows Korik and Tim are going to cover this aspect because he could.
Okay,
care
then
less
we'll
about
figure out what
ceremony.
you're up to. What do you?
Oh,
Guys
actually, hold
wanna-
on.
Yeah.
So I would like to practice crafting poisons because if you're going to heal people, you need to know other types of poisons that are out there and how they're made up. So I would like to dive into like plant-based poison and animal venom usage. Either or, if I have to pick one, plant-based poisons.
I'm looking for like
and
a
toxins.
craft. You know what I mean? Like an art, like
Horticulture.
a craft.
Extracting the art of
Not
I
like
guess
the art of
Oh, damn it.
butchery. You know what I mean? Like sure.
no, I was gonna be like
technically.
like taking identifying which like I don't know, like
I kind of
taking a poison and then having the anti-venom or the antidote right there.
I do kind of like the idea of mixology, which is like you could blend these 15 different plants and herbs into like a fantastic beverage
Alcohol. That's
or
a type of
alcohol
poison.
or I mean I guess that's the same thing in the end as poison.
Fuck it, my other tools are cook's utensils.
like a
And
cool
like I just learned Hero's Feast before, so I perfect my
Chefery?
Hero's Feast.
chefery. Yeah, you could put up
Yeah.
like a beautiful plate with a leaf on the top.
Yeah. Bring out. Hold on.
With
I
a
get
leaf
my
in
special
mouth.
my plating spoon and my tweezers.
Yeah, we can still say it's in that
The-
herb range, right? This is a very herbal planet. There's not a lot of murder going on in terms of the animals, so you know, you utilize their herbs and fauna. What do you get up to, Toxic? Do you have an art or craft, or do you have a separate thing?
An art or a craft that I want to do to the light of creation, or
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
everyone is getting an opportunity. If you want to have a ceremony to present to the light of creation, to attempt to,
Trying to get close to the thing.
everyone's just we're just trying to get close. If Corix doesn't get accepted, there's just another chance. This is just everyone's chance to like learn an art or a craft. If you have anything, I don't know, like whittling or singing or guitar playing, or if there's something from your character sheet, magic. This could be like up close magic where like Tim learns.
You learn how to pull
the
a rabbit out of
feel
your hat.
of up close
No.
magic, right?
I don't. I'm trying to think about what I'm trying to think about, like what parlor tricks I don't know for my spells to hide my magic.
Well, but
But this could be where you learn them because we're in the
this
past.
could be where you learn them.
Yeah. All right. So I would imagine thematically, this would be about the time where I am attempting to learn how to disguise my magic so that I can survive effectively in Verdansk at a later date. Because I know I'm gonna need it. So then I guess my ceremony would be like teaching myself how to, disguise fireball as a glitter bomb and firebolt as whatever it was. And I'm gonna have to remember thematically.
Oh, that's the
what all
art of
my
magic,
spells were,
baby.
but-
Killing
Your
touch as
presentation
the
is a
streamer.
magic show.
Yeah. So
Other
I
thing
guess
could-
that's my ceremony. That would be my ceremony.
Yeah.
You missed the prime opportunity for like the art of endurance in bed.
Well,
But-
okay.
But like thematically, that came later for my character. The magic thing was like that's the whole backstory of my character. Is he disguises magic.
Okay, Ian, what do you do as they're starting to study these crafts?
He's going to kind of open up his own little kind of stall store kind of thing and go, come on, come learn a new trick, and kind of try and teach people the art of sleight of hand.
Okay, what I'll say. Hold on.
So he'll kind of have his stall kind of have a handwritten sign, 1 coin for a lesson.
Yeah, what I'll say is that as everyone else on the team does their ceremony, your student does their ceremony. So you still get like it's your place,
Yeah.
but with the dude you taught to do sleight of hand. Which is a
And
wild
remember, you
ceremony.
bring that coin back, so all the money you get disappears.
I'm gonna say that like this is yours probably goes first, and there's just no way to show it off on stage. Or yeah, you tell me how you show it off on stage before I say that. Like, how do you show this
So-
off to the cave that you've taught this kid?
So my student will first be in the crowd, and as he gets his name called up for it, he kind of goes up and kind of just drops everybody's wallets on the stage and goes, "Well, I have made your wallets magically all appear in front of me."
And then the light goes off, and all of their wallets are gone, and no one remembers they had a wallet anymore. And then the light happens again because that was really awesome. Wait. Give me a heart roll for your teaching. You were a
Heart-
teacher.
Okay.
Let's see what happens if
Heart.
that thing accepts the wallets. That's awesome. Everyone's like, "Oh, he did it." Wait a second. My wallet.
That is in your live chat. I went to the wrong tab.
Fuck yeah.
Ignore that, Ab.
Fuck yeah. Can I get a roll 2d6 in chat, everyone?
That is a 7.
Okay, I'll say it's accepted because that's still really cool, but everyone's really mad at him. He's like cheering and everyone's like, "No. give us our wallet. You owe us each. I had $15 in there. I had 100. No, you didn't. Yes, I did. Anyway, Luke Davenport does his whittling. I think it's accepted, and Lucretia's painting is accepted beautifully. Loop on violin and Barry on piano do incredibly well. It's moving. In fact, theirs is accepted too. It's very moving, not Loop and Barry. No. I apologize. Loop and Angus. Yes, that's her brother. Piano and violin, they crush ass. That's accepted too. Everyone's loving it. They really like get their sense of like companionship and camaraderie between the two of them. Everyone does. And then we get to the two of yours works. Tim, close up magic. Let's see. Yours feels like harder mine to me.
I feel like it's mine because he has to really focus on making sure it's
Yeah,
sitting
this
well.
is you learning all of the tricks. So I like mind. After that, performing them is a heart.
Yikes. 9. Yikes.
You know, some of the
8.
tricks are good. You mess up one of the shuffles. It's like that tower shuffle where all the cards just fly straight up, you know, and then you're like, oh, that was the trick. Was this your card? And you catch one, and it still goes over well, but like, it is unfortunately not accepted in this case. The wallet stealing was just too funny for me, and plus he gets nothing out of it anyway. It is unaccepted in this case. The flash goes off and no one quite remembers your magic act save the remaining card that flutters across the stage in the wind. But you know that you can still keep it up, and you'll just have to improve if you want your magic to really be able to disguise your magic.
All I imagine now is just one guy from the crowd clapping hands immensely because it was his card and nobody else remembers anything. They all look at the guy like he's crazy.
But that was my card. It was the 9 of... Did no one care? It was the 9 of spades. Korik, I think yours is... I'm feeling hard for being a cook, but...
Yeah, so, you know, I just take all these, like, the raw ingredients, and it's also not just about eating the food, it's, I purposely pick some people to be up on stage with me that are under the weather, ill, injured, or something like that, because when I put on the Heroes Feast, it, you know, this is me learning... You know, I've learned it a little bit and whatnot, so it's...
Yeah, more presentation now.
Yeah. Where the fuck? I was actually going to try to look up the exact... things, but it is not showing in my spells right now.
What Heroes Feast do? You don't need to worry about what it does. They're not. No
No, I was looking for just a word in my head.
Oh.
But you know, so you see, you know, you see this, you know, this lady, you know, looks, you know, ill, almost vomiting or whatever, and she just starts feeling better after consuming it.
I see.
And whatnot. So
replenished or rejuvenated.
And the light of creation is like, fuck that shit.
My question is, does that mean these people just get absorbed into the light of creation, never to be heard or seen from again?
The people go away. That's funny as fuck. Everyone's wallets.
Well, I did a 6.
Yeah, the people disappear. No one remembers them or their food. No, the people don't disappear, but the food disappears from their stomach and they're left feeling hungry and like disappointed in the end. Unfortunately, it is unaccepted. But the lady that was feeling, I'll give you at a minimum because you know what you're doing with plants. The lady that was feeling ill does thank you in the end because she does feel better. It wasn't fully removed from her stomach and she feels quite a bit better. But the light of creation still does not accept it.
Yeah,
As
well,
I get off
for the
stage, I
win.
start doing an old elven, like wood elf traditional dance that we would do, like
How-
as I'm getting like yanked off stage.
Yeah. After all of the ceremonies for this day are finished, there's a little bit of like, food and beverages on the tables and whatnot, but there's like a sense of disappointment amongst the crew. You guys are here at this party, but what's the difference than where we were at a year ago? We did it. We did the thing, right? Our works may have even gotten accepted, but what did we receive? Like we didn't get the light of we didn't receive the light of creation, right? We got blessed by the light according to the school, but we didn't get anything. During the party, if anyone even attempts, like, if at any point, I would say that someone would have definitely attempted to enter into the cave. Someone, Yi, probably would have attempted to enter into the cave, even though told not to. And you guys know that in doing so, you just turn around and exit. Like, you remember entering, and then your next memory is
it's a
of
loop
you
spell
leaving.
type of thing.
Yeah. There is, let me see. There might be something in here.
Could I attempt to parlay with Chancellor Marlowe?
Oh, I'll say that you guys knew this rumor beforehand also. I may not have told you, but this would have been what spurned you to do the thing. There was a rumor that someone who had their work accepted on the other side of the mountain at some point entered into the cave afterwards. But as any of you may have tried during this moment, just to wrap that in that rumor, you then exited and everyone saw you just exiting the cave. It wasn't anything different. Can you try to parlay with Marlowe? You can talk with her too, but you can parlay with her for sure.
Okay. I just think I might be able to get further with her if I parlay with her
You can.
and try to maybe do, I don't know, some freaky ass intimidation shit. Maybe.
Could you
Tim,
bring
thoughts on this?
two people into your?
No, he already said he couldn't. I gotta take a quick bio break though. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do your thing.
No, I
Okay.
mean two different minds. Like you can't bring ours ourselves, but like
I don't know.
we technically invite the darkness and the person.
No, he told me I can do it with one person. Maybe I have to go back and train with the monks again. No idea, but
Can't.
yeah, it's just Uno, me, and one other thing.
Okay.
A one-on-one convo.
Um, in the time of getting to know Chancellor Marlowe, as I parlay with her, I would like to bring her into her office, but it's reversed and I'm sitting in her chair.
Okay.
If that makes sense. And when she comes in, I ask her to take a seat and explain to her the importance that we need more time with the light and another opportunity for mine or Tim's works to be accepted.
But you are welcome to take as many opportunities as you like to have your works accepted. The whole world should know your work, even if that go round wasn't perfect. I think the art of cooking is incredible.
And then my next question is, what's in the cave?
The light of creation.
Why can how come only certain people can enter the cave
Oh,
if the
that's
rumors are true?
literally just a rumor. no one that I have ever met has been able to enter into the. It's a particle of the greater being. We couldn't fathom it even if we could see it.
Has the light ever accepted your work?
Dozens of times. Several books and a painting or two at this point. One of my spoken words, though I wish it would have taken the other two. Know what I'm saying? Oh, you definitely know
You.
what I'm saying.
I would like you to try to enter the cave,
Every
and I
time
end
I
our
do.
convo.
Okay. Yeah.
I should not have ended that convo then, but yeah.
I think the party that takes some time to go off. We can say that we can follow up on that the next day. The party mostly just ends in a little bit of, I think, disappointment for your crew, and most of y'all go off to bed talking that we'll figure out a next steps tomorrow. We only have a little bit more time until hunger shows up.
Was Lucretia's painting accepted?
Yeah.
The only ones who weren't accepted were you two.
Yes.
Yeah. Yi, could you try to take Lucretia to the cave and see if she can get in?
Well, if I remember this correctly, and this is out of character, Em said we all tried to enter, or was it just me?
True, but the rumor we just found out was that someone whose work was accepted.
Yeah, my work was accepted too. That's the thing.
Did Yi try before or after?
He tried after,
That's
if I remember.
That's a M question.
I mean, I'll accept he tried after. It didn't work on the stage. Nothing worked on the stage. However, sending him to try again, like giving him some time to like really explore it, once everyone's gone to bed or whatever, you know what I mean? Like giving him more time to scope it out is never a problem.
I can definitely go scope it out at night and see what I can find before trying again.
Yeah, you bring Lucretia, maybe, or do you go alone?
For now, since I'm just scoping it out, it'd be easier for Yi to go alone and figure out what's going on. He entered and left so quickly without actually seeing it.
Yeah, it's a pretty brisk night. It's quiet. No one is really out on the lawn as you cross it and towards the cave. Though something catches your light as you do, or your eyes as you do, a light kind of blinking on and off in front of the cave, floating a little to the left and a little to the right, seemingly like a moving in front of the cave. And upon closer inspection, you see a small floating jellyfish with this like cosmic structure weaving in its bell.
He's going to make sure his red cloak is wrapped around him tight. Gonna go up to the jellyfish and give it a little pat.
And it seems a little scared at first and juts into the cave and blinks out, and you wait just a minute and it blinks back up and moves towards you, and you guys play this little game of like in and out as it's like testing, and then it gets close and touches you a little bit, just like rubs one of its tentacles on you and backs up, and then comes and it like dances around you a little bit. It seems really excited, and then it starts to float off into the cave and stops and waves a little tentacle for you to follow, like pretty, come on.
Yi, before fully going in, is gonna make sure his identity is fully hidden, not knowing what's inside, throwing his hood up and gonna follow.
And it's dark except for as you enter in and go deeper and deeper, there's some like glowing crystals that illuminate the deeper cave. And once in, you find yourself in this larger dome-shaped room, stalactites jutting down from the ceiling. You see a much, much larger void fish, we know them to be, floating in the center of this cave. 2 of them you see now. And let's see. The little jellyfish pulls you into the cave as the bigger one seems to basically just like move its bell to quote unquote watch you, not through eyes, but through narration, I guess. The little jellyfish pulls you over to a corner and like shows you gleefully a pile of wallets that it is like really excited to show you. It's the pile of wallets that you turned in. It's very excited. It's seemingly about your skill, and it dances like over the wallets.
He's gonna raise his like hand up like a high five, and then after kind of if it high fives back, he's gonna say, "Want to see a couple more tricks?" and kind of do a little more advanced sleight of hand to show them how to really do it instead of the like basics he's shown that the other guy.
It gleefully dances around. It goes and picks up a wallet and throws it to you, and then quickly grabs it and throws it back on the pile and goes to the pile and dances up and down. You get the idea. It wants more wallets. You've created a monster. The
He puts his hand out like for it to land and says, "If you come with me, I can get you more wallets easily."
It doesn't come float over your hand, but it does just kind of move back like around the cave. It's still like trying to play with you. And as you watch it
That's
and
fair.
kind of follow it around a little bit, and look around the cave, I think your heart sinks a little bit in that you realize that there is definitely no light of creation in this cave. The lights and the thing, like nothing in here is giving off light of creation energy or vibes. Like
So my body wouldn't be resonating with it even after I offered it to the god and I felt that surge earlier on.
yeah, I mean, definitely in this moment you're not feeling. I mean, you're not feeling any sort of resonance with it. It just feels like a cave in here. Like that is starting to set in for Yi, that something that these creatures are doing in the cave is probably interacting with the light or the people in some way. You're not 100% sure on that yet, but it's not the light of creation, it's these creatures doing this that they are calling the light of creation.
Mm-hmm. Ye will then go, "I'll be back with more wallets. Just hold on for 1 day. I will be back, okay?"
It nods and
And
dances around.
Ye will then head out, kind of sneak around, make sure nobody's around, head back to camp, and then wake everyone up.
Yeah.
Go,
Hit us.
go, guys. We need to find the light of creation in this town as soon as possible. There's things in there that aren't the light of creation, and I know what that thing feels like. I'm guessing you guys do, but that thing, there's nothing in it that feels like the light of creation, and we only have 72 hours at most, is my guess. He isn't good at time. He's just guessing. That's Tim and Corrick's job to keep track of
I
when
mean,
it's time to
that
leave,
feels
when
like
it's not.
a nail on the head sort of guess. Like, you know, it's dead close. That finish line is right up ahead, and unfortunately, it was not in the cave like we thought.
And as after that, he says, "Don't look for me." He throws his red hood back on and starts finding people's wallets to pick.
I think a lot of the crew is distraught. Davenport says, "Well, we've spent the whole year doing that. This is a wash. I don't know that we can fight it this time if we haven't seen it up until now."
He just yells back, "Check forests. Check anywhere around the town. I need to do something urgently."
Lucretia actually is curious about what you were talking about. She's gonna follow along to try to get more info, asking about the creatures in the cave and whatnot. But she's just gonna follow along to help. She'll stay out of the way when you need her
He's for
to.
going to look at Lucretia and say, first, give me your wallet.
Well, I'll bring it with us. I'll just bring it. I'll bring it.
We'll need a lot of wallets.
Okay, I'll help you get them.
I like that. Okay, and he heads off to go grab as many wallets as he can before he heads back up to the cave.
Yeah, I think the crew frantically starts to search, but I still want to focus on this scene, Lucretia and Yi returning to the cave with some wallets. The sky's starting to darken a little earlier than expected. Some fear crossing some faces, but we return to the cave.
Before we go in the cave, he throws on his hood and pulls Lucretia's up over hers quickly too, and kind of yells, "Hey, Squishy, I got more for you."
The jellyfish let you in, and the two of you enter into the cave, and the jellyfish introduce themselves, I guess, to Lucretia as they have done to you, and she's just fascinated by them. She starts like writing notes and drawing pictures, and she's just so fascinated. But I don't think that you guys are here for too long. Yeah, I think Lucretia, with her knowledge and smarts. Actually, why don't you give me another heart roll too to
Okay.
say what you learn about these jellyfish in that time.
Okay. That is a 12.
Oh yeah. I think that you and Lucretia are easily able to like parse what we know of the voidfish in this moment, right? Like you
Okay.
can feed it stuff. I think that with that 12, that I'll just call like some luck roll. This is not really a heart response, but there's like a moment in which one of the jellyfish is like splashing around, and it releases some like ichor from one of its tentacles, and it splashes the both of you in the face. And that's you get all of the music. What Korik's cooking is returned to you. Tim's magic show is returned. Like all of those pieces that were once erased because they just weren't enjoyed by the fish are now returned after you are invigorated with that ichor.
Wow, that trick Tim did really did suck.
That's savage, dude. That's savage. But this absolute brutality that you just inflicted on Tim is cut short as there is a rumble. It turns out that it isn't but 72 hours, but it is hours after you say that the sky turns black. It is early and it is here. And it also isn't as there's usually a ramp up to it in the hours leading up to the hunger's arrival, but it seems sudden and violent. There are, for those of you flying around above the city, just all of a sudden the clouds darken and then lose all of their color and turn black before smashing down as they have before and beginning to envelop this plane. You fly low and hard over to the mountain and just jut into that massive opening to pick up Yi. I think with that 12 Yi, as you go to run, the jellyfish, the little one tries to reach out to grab you and like pull you back in. But then the big one, the big one like pushes the little one forward with you, and you guys are pushed up onto the ship and pulled out. It couldn't really fit on the ship anyway.
The big one could, I figured not.
No, the little baby one did though. And a little sense of relief as the plane around you is sort of being dusted. Not much, because you also know what comes when you enter into that barrier that exists when the hunger comes, is that the jellyfish is not supposed to join you. um, but as you do break it and you are shattered into your millions of pieces and brought back together again into yet the next cycle, the hunger unfortunately having consumed the plane of arts behind you, the baby voidfish is in fact on the deck of the ship with you.
Squishy! Squishy is mine. Nobody else is allowed to have Squishy.
We just get an ash of whatever from Elden Ring.
Yeah,
Just
you
have
got
an
the
ash now,
jellyfish ash.
common.
Yeah, the very first
Just
one
have
that
the
you can
jellyfish
start with.
ash, the
This
very
is the
first
one you can
one,
start
yeah.
with. Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, not the one
Squishy.
you can start with. You get that deep down there. I love the jellyfish ash. It's so funny.
Yeah.
It's so bad.
Squishy. He goes into his room and sets Squishy up his own little tent, a little bed, like everything.
Now we need the void
Tim
fish
is gonna
for
explain
our
why the
story.
jellyfish can't be Black Knife to Shay, because that's the only one that matters.
Oh,
why couldn't you be an assassin that applies bleed?
it's Black Knife Teach, first of all. And secondly,
I also don't.
uh,
I don't go Black Knife. I go the two goblins because they are so fucking funny to me. Or Pumpkinhead is also incredible.
ye will ask Squishy for a little bit of the that weird liquid that got splashed on him,
Mm-hmm.
and throw it both onto Tim and Korik first.
You mean into?
Well, you said it was on us, and when we remembered, you didn't say
Yeah,
we
I mean, on
drank
your
it last
faces,
time,
just so that it could enter
Yeah.
into your. But I'm just laughing at.
Yeah.
I throw it into them. Just so
Okay.
that Tim
Ran-
can remember his shame.
Yeah, the whole reason he did this was
I-
to make Tim remember his
He
shame.
actually
on that
rolled
part.
better
Listen.
than you did, just to be up front. That's the best
No,
part
I
about
know.
all of that.
No,
Listen.
that's why I'm doing it especially because G's trick got accepted, even though he rolled worse.
It's just too
I
funny.
don't care, because I'm gonna learn my magic anyway, and you'll never be a spellcaster. And then he turns around and walks away.
And then as you turn around, you walk away and your door shuts and Yi holds up your wallet and we fade to black.
He just gives it to Squishy.
Just kidding.
Squishy now has a
I don't want
collection
him
of
to
a
steal
wallet.
your wallet, but just as the joke. That's like fucking Looney Tunes.
Yeah. That's all, folks.
I do think that's where we're gonna cut it for today because I don't want to get into the middle of the cycle.
That's totally fair, and I know Buddha has to head out soon too.
Mhm.
I do.
That's okay.
well-
There are only 3 cycles left in this book, and Tim is one of them. Everyone
Tim,
else
you
got
are
a
one cycle.
more focused cycle, and
No,
yours
that's
is coming
totally
up
fair.
soon. Though
got this,
wildly, it
Tim.
isn't the very next one. The next one is like an everyone cycle, but then it's a Tim focused cycle.
Be fair, is
Well-
Tim's cycle? I feel like Tim's cycle's him just seducing everybody he sees.
No, my cycle is probably going to be about my bond with Loop, because I still need to figure out how the fuck she got turned into an umbrella.
Whenever I think about that, I think about your intro, and it's just like, God damn it! Now I'm a penny noodle, and I can't focus like this. Or no, it's like I got turned into a penny noodle. I'm trying to have a conversation. That's what it is.
Yep.
Oh.
Oh, this is gonna be so fucking good.
I
Oh.
am available next week. I just need a day.
We're probably gonna be aiming for Tuesdays for a while because you said you were busy, and I know that's when M said he could do it. And
Yeah,
Buddha, I
Sunday or
don't know his
Tuesday is
schedule.
best for me.
I am not necessarily busy on Tuesdays. I just have another streamer I'm playing It Takes Two with, and we had chosen
Right.
Tuesdays. But if Tuesdays is our day, I'll find a way to move that.
No, I mean again,
Um,
it can be a
Whatever.
either a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday are the 3 free days I like.
I can be available next Tuesday.
Free.
I can do next
Wed-
Tuesday, but
Wednesdays-
same time I gotta stop
No, that's
before.
fine.
And
I immediately hit
Wednesdays
the
are
date.
Wednesdays are tough because I'm back playing hockey again, and a lot of my games are on Wednesdays. But
I thought you said they were on
Tuesdays I can
Sunday.
generally do. No, I switch leagues and rinks, so they're various days.
Hmm.
Some of them are Sunday, some of them are Wednesday, some of them are
Gotcha.
That's fair.
Friday.
I am
Um,
going to be free for a long time because of life stuff going on. So I'm free whenever y'all need. I do know next weekend I will be starting another campaign with a friend who's going to be hosting for the first time. So that'll be
Nice.
fun to try.
Nice. I don't think I can on next Tuesday. I think I'm going to see the new, what is it, Ballerina with my friend.
Oh, the new John
looks
Wick
good.
spinoff.
Yeah.
I should be able to do the
love a good
24th
action
also.
flick. When?
That shouldn't be a problem.
The one
The
after?
Tuesday after.
The following Tuesday.
Okay, yeah, that Tuesday after should probably work out. I don't know why that one
I
would.
can do that.
I think that works for me too. I'll have to double check because this week I
I gotta bow out. I have an
stuff.
early, very early day the next day. I can't do that week. We're hosting a Tennessee State amateur golf tournament all week, and I have to be to work at 5 a.m. every day.
Damn. Okay. That's
So-
fine.
July 1st. The Tuesday after that.
Well, let's get
Yeah.
through this month first before we jump into July. I'll be honest,
that's-
because
If we can't do the 17th or the 24th,
I could do the 15th. I could do next Sunday.
Father's Day? You want to do a Father's
Father's
Day one?
Day.
Father?
I mean, that doesn't matter to me. We celebrated Father's Day this past Saturday, so
Yeah. I might
have,
not be
'cause
able to
it's next
start
Sunday.
until like 9 Eastern, possibly,
Well, I
like
got
how we started
linear
this one. So.
reservations. We celebrated Father's
Guess
Day
I'm not a
early.
father.
Yeah.
You have a fur baby.
Oh wait,
It
what
counts.
you wait, did you just say something about this Sunday? You said you couldn't?
I said I would if we did this Sunday. I couldn't start until like 9 Eastern, so 8 o'clock Central would be like the earliest I could start.
That's fine for me.
Yeah.
that can work for me.
That's fine.
Yeah,
The
I
later is
just
better for
know-
me on
won't
Sunday because I
stream
work
it.
crazy fucking late on Saturday, so
That's fair, Em.
that way I'm not
So,
like rushing to
Let's
get up.
pencil in for now for the 15th, and then I do get some information this weekend about my medical life, so I will keep y'all up to date with what's going on with that.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, do so.
So,
Yeah,
Okay.
I should be able to make Sunday work. That's fine.
Alrighty.
Well, good session, guys.
Yeah, this was great.
It was
I
very
like
and then we'll be
Yeah,
on an
sorry
average
that
of
It was a lot of most like one person doing a thing for a long stints of time, so I apologize for.
I tried to get
Okay.
others involved.
No, I appreciate the way
Yeah.
that you guys play. You're always like asking each other for
Yeah.
advice and not like I like you can always use an NPC and you do, but you start with each other, which is like a lot more helpful to know where people are at and what we're doing. So
I just honestly I was waiting to say that joke about Tim for like the after you told me it was the jellyfish. I was like joke on Tim's magic.
God, that was so
just had that
funny. That was a bad trick. That's so funny. The
So-
jellyfish even laughed.
So you seemed like at the end there when like the sky was getting black that you were pretty much ready to like move on that cycle. Part of me almost so hard wanted to stop you and parlay with him and have a conversation with him as he was actively trying to destroy that plane.
Would that slow
Uh,
him down then?
I'm gonna do my pack open so that I can read
Oh,
out.
good.
You guys can keep
Yeah,
talking.
yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I
Okay.
would. I mean, try that if you think that is an interesting thing. We'll go into the next time he is dropping down with that in mind. That way you can like
Yeah.
attempt that parlay. I mean, do recall though that he hasn't been coming.
Yes. So
The past couple he just
That-
hasn't.
that's what
Oh
you-
no, I mean, I guess
No, 'cause
you
I-
haven't tried. You
I
haven't been
told
doing
you
it.
that I haven't tried. Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of did it on myself. And
I
I
guess
have a
that's fair.
feeling that if I so like in my brain how that would go would be like I would pull him in and he would come in and be like I've found you. And now you're mine. Or something like that and then smite me there and then everything else would go black. Or he'd have to ask me a whole bunch of questions like how the hell do you keep coming back?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you should You should go ready for a round 2 and just pull out poker.
Nah, man. If I do round 2, I'm just gonna. It's gonna be fucking chess again. You
3D
gotta.
chess.
You got 4 days to study up on your chess terminology.
Oh my god, we're gonna be here being like pawn g3, and also I am the big evil man. Knight to 4f, whatever.
I just want to
Just learn the other pieces.
I mean, I know
You don't have to learn what to do.
I know what they are. I know how to play.
Name 'em.
I know how to play chess. I don't know it well enough to be able to like speak a
move
chess
by
game.
move.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I could not verbally tell you a chess game. Like
yeah, you almost made me shit
like-
myself when you were
like
pawn to whatever. I was like,
yeah,
what
rook.
did he just
What
say?
would be like king's rook pawn to, to knight 4 or
Yeah,
something.
I was
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
I cannot lose this game as the bad guy. I it's
Yeah.
just narratively I have to win this chess
Oh,
game.
God.
Yeah.
I thought you
Be
were
like,
about to pull
4
some, like,
move
well,
checkmate.
actually, you
Yeah.
couldn't. Yeah, right. I know the 4-move checkmate, and you ran right into it, you fool. Like, oh my god.
Yeah. How do you not know
Yeah.
the world's easiest defense? God.
How
Just
do you
don't-
not know rook to b2, queen to a5, e6
Yeah,
for another pawn?
So you can you can experience my sadness, M. The company I buy my gummies for have switched to required signature for delivery.
Hmm.
The postal service did not knock today. They just put a failure to delivery notice on my door that there was no one able to sign for the package. And so I went down to the post office. They're like, "Yeah, you got to come back like tomorrow." I cannot physically get to the post office until next Tuesday.
Oh, that sucks.
I have this many gummies left.
I was here.
That's what I
Yeah,
told
they
him. And
won't-
like I called the 1-800 number. The lady was like, "Just go down to the post office. They should be able to get it for you." Yeah, our post office and where like the postal trucks park, 5 miles away. They got like the supervisor at the post office was like, "You can call the number, man, but I'm the manager here and they don't even answer for my ass."
Damn.
Yeah, they don't knock.
But
And I can't
no,
tell them, be
weed
like,
gummies.
"I just want my
I
weed."
just want my weed.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
I
that
was
sucks.
really excited because they started shipping pens to Tennessee too. And so I got a pen too. Like I spent like $212, I think.
Damn. It's expensive
Yeah.
there.
Well, it's also not legal here.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. That would be why it's expensive. Yeah.
And I also can't be like, they're like, "Well, what'd you ship?" I was like, just something I bought. Like, I don't know why they shipped it for signature required. I can't be like, "Yo, bro, I need my weed."
That's fair, actually. Yeah. Normally, I would be like, "Yo, my
Yeah.
weed's in there. Please, please, just give me my weed." And they'd be like, "Oh, I get it, bro. Here's your weed." But
Yeah.
I guess I would say that, and they would say, "Oh, I get it, bro. Here's your jail cell."
Yeah, yeah. Now, I could say I need my anxiety medicine.
It's medical. I
But,
don't need to show you anything.
yeah, yeah.
Puff my nuts and get my weed.
And actually, I had a scare with that. I thought my Crohn's medication, they changed to signature required. No, my sister decided to mail me alcohol, and I didn't realize it.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so for like
gee.
4 freaking days, I thought it was like my $10,000 medicine. They changed to signature required, and I couldn't get it because my leasing office refuses to sign for packages now. It's like their company policy; they won't do it.
The fuck?
It around the holiday time, they had something like 400 packages in their office that people just wouldn't come and pick up, and so they were like, "Screw it, no." Either have it dropped off at your front doorstep, or go pick it up at FedEx or whatever. So. Yeah.
Question the light thing, is that good with my the god